over the next 4 or 5 years, and we presented that to our commissioner that represents us. And so over the next 2 to 3 months, we'll be going through that process. And so we're just kind of giving you a preview of some of those projects that would be affecting you.
So I'll kind of point up here at the map, and Matt will use the pointer and he'll correct me when I say something incorrect. So I think this will be talked about some more here from looking at the agenda, but last night we had a public meeting for the Heber Parkway, we were calling it. And so it was a great public meeting. We got a lot of comments, a lot of feedback. And so we are looking to fund an environmental study so we can keep moving that forward. That's where we're at this point. We need some funding for an environmental study, which will get us more answers, more detail, but we are currently working on corridor preservation with the results of the study when they become public and final after the public comment period. And down here,
that's the widening of US 189.
okay, that's right. So 189 from Wallsburg up to 113. That is funded to start design with 2022 funding, and then the following years when we get the funding for construction. So that's...
And our 2022 funding actually comes in July of 2021. So that's when we can actually start design and move it forward into construction, kind of depending on how long the design takes. Usually it's about a year.
And then up the road here, this is the, we're looking into doing climbing lanes from around the Provo River Bridge up over the summit. That's general approximate limits of that project, but we definitely see a need to add a climbing lane there with the slow moving trucks.
And actually, UDOT applied for a grant, a federal grant, to try to help fund that because of its heavily trucked route. Mm-hmm. And so we're actually applying for it, trying to pay for it that way, or trying to apply for funding within the state system too. So the 2 orange projects that you see on here, or red projects, are projects that we have requested to go into a pot where we compete statewide for funding. So but we've been told that we are not going to be programming any more of these types of projects, at least this year, because we have programmed out so much already, and there's not enough money to go out there and get more. But there is rumor that the legislature may try to bond, and if that happens, then we might actually get some more projects programmed. But UDOT and the governor, I guess, are not really in favor of doing that at this point. But you know, it's up to, so just keep your eye on the legislative session, and you'll know when we know.
Yeah. Are those 2 red dots on the line up there, the portals?
Yes.
Up here? Yeah. So that is also, that is currently in design. Those bridges up on either side of the Mayflower interchange, we are currently designing those. Plan to start construction of that next year, maybe about this time next year. We'll have the design finished in December. And because of the climbing lanes coming, we'll be building the uphill side structures big enough for that climbing lane so that we don't have to rebuild structures right after we build them. We try and do things right every once in a while. So, moving over here,
So these projects are projects that are pretty difficult to fund. They come from small capacity projects on up to maintenance projects, you know, maintaining culverts, or providing spot safety improvements and things like that. So there's quite a few little projects here.
So some of them are a bit more interesting than others. I'll try and just hit the interesting ones. If you have questions about what the other lines are, I'll tell you, but I'll probably just... So one that may interest you, this section of US 40, basically from the north end of Heber up to SR 32, we're going to be putting in center rumble strips and rumble strips over on the shoulder line as well, but the main purpose of that is to prevent the crossover crashes in that section. And from what we've looked at, that's the solution we're going to try first, because of the aesthetics of barrier and the other problems that a concrete barrier down the center of our highway could create for us. And so we're going to use rumble strips. It seems like most of these crossover crashes are attributed to distraction, so we feel strongly that rumble strips will be able to get their attention again and get them moved back over into the right spot.
We voted as a council last night that we would, in favor of the center rumble strips, the typical ones, and on the two edges, what is it, Spencer?
The
Sinusoidal strip rather
Yes.
than the center.
Yes.
That is what
So
we're
to
proposing.
help noise reduction and whatnot on those
Yes.
neighborhoods.
Yeah, we'll use the proven, the one that we already know a lot about, and we know that it works, and on the inside where we seem to have the bigger problem. And then we'll use those sinusoidal, which typically have, from what we understand, have less of a noise impact. I don't know if we've used that anywhere in the state as of yet, but
There's one other place in the state that's going to be trying it in the next year or two as well.
so.
But supposedly the sinusoidal rumble strip, it is just as noisy in the vehicle, but outside of the vehicle it's not as noisy. So.
Right. So hopefully it works. Yes.
I just mentioned, you and I spoke last night that we will make sure that that outside one is tucked close to the
Yes.
line to leave a shoulder that'll still accommodate bicycles and those types of things. That was a concern that was brought up, to make sure that we still accommodate that.
Yeah, and that's exactly correct. We want to keep that shoulder for.
Matt likes to ride his bike.
I'm gonna
And a
call
few
it-
other people.
Kind of hazardous though.
Down in this area, we're looking at adding some turn pockets, XL, decel lanes for the connection streets into US 189, and then over here on 40, a center turn lane. Is that correct? Center turn
Center
lane.
turn lane going south of Heber on US 40.
Right, and then down here in the canyon, a barrier project, turning cable barrier and the rusted-looking guardrail into cast-in-place concrete barrier.
Oh my goodness, you're moving the Redford cable into real cement, huh?
That's the plan.
You bought your cement, you know.
So we were able to actually get some safety money to upgrade that, and then through this other funding source, we have kicked in some money from our region to help get that done in one season versus breaking it out into 3 seasons of what we were looking at, the only way to fund that before, so.
This little dot right here, we are going to, this year, it'll go into construction. We're going to add a left turn pocket and widen the shoulders a little bit right there where 113 bends in Mitchie Lane. It's kind of a hazardous area, so we're going to add a turn lane there so that through traffic can keep moving and it's safe to stop there and wait to make your left turn. So that'll be going on this year. So I think that's it for our transportation solution. Pavement projects.
This blue line is actually incorrect, it's in the wrong location.
Is it? Okay. Well, I'll just skip it then.
Well, it's a reconstruct actual project coming up at 2022.
Okay. I should know about that, but I don't yet. Sorry.
No,
This is pavement
It's in
preservation.
the process of being programmed right now. So
Okay.
it hasn't been approved yet.
It'll hit my list soon. Then.
Yeah.
So pavement preservation project on SR 32 from 40 up towards Francis, almost all the way to Francis. This is 222, which is just right out here. Pavement preservation project up to the state park there. And these pavement preservation projects are just the ones that we kind of reseal the pavement, help extend that pavement life so we don't have to do a major reconstruct as soon. And then down here in the canyon in the asphalt section, again, just the pavement preservation, just to keep the pavement lasting for us. And traffic and safety projects, let's see here.
You have the 113.
113. So this project was scheduled to go into construction this year. We have designed basically 100% done, but we still don't have the property acquired from the Bureau of Reclamation, the BOR. And for some reason, they don't really want to talk to us right now. And so
They've been partially affected by the shutdown too,
Yeah.
so that slowed things down a little bit.
significantly. So we are going to put that project off till next year. At this point, it's too late into the season already to advertise and expect to get decent prices and be able to construct the whole project.
Was that the rough, was that the widening project?
Yep, yeah, the widening there, and then would also be, as part of that project, the pavement preservation from 189 all the way here into Midway. So we do that widening and then do the new pavement through the whole
The
section.
widening will be from basically the bridge over the river up to Tate Lane and include turn lanes into Tate Lane.
Yeah.
So you're gonna widen clear to the bridge?
Yeah, from Tate Lane down.
So,
Kind of the most severe slopes and the narrowest shoulders on the roadway.
and then
And then you have
down here, down in the canyon, we'll be doing enhanced pavement marking project. This is a kind of a study project where we're going to be using some new pavement markings that supposedly can be seen easily, even if they're submerged in water. So where we have our pavement markings that are recessed so the plows don't scrape them off, and then it rains, you can't see them anymore because the water's over it. We're trying something a product that claims that in those situations, they still capture your headlight light and reflect it back to you, so you can still see those stripes when they're recessed and then submerged underwater. So,
And this is actually in the concrete section, so it'll have the black paint and then the white on top, so you can kind of see it.
yep.
And it helps, you can see it quite a bit better in the areas that they've done it.
So,
The other one's that same cable barrier guardrail project.
yep. Okay. Structures. So, besides the ones we already talked about, we have a structure preservation type project coming up on the structure over the Provo River. That one, the structures division of UDOT is doing some testing to figure out exactly what the best solution is here. And they're doing a study not only on this structure, but a couple other structures throughout the state to determine that. So it'll be later this year where we actually decide what we're doing, and then I'll be able to get that project started and designed. So if design goes super quick, then we can construct that next year, but it may be a year after that, because we have to wait for the results from structures division to determine what sort of solution they want to be here. Let's see, what else do we have over on? Okay, so Wasatch County project, 12th south from, let's see, the 3600 east to 6400 east is further out. We have one that started design that's on 12th south from 12th to 3600, or will be starting design very soon, getting consultant under contract now to start that design. And then I think that one's a year or two out. Yeah, so this is the one here that we're going under design right now, so probably do that construction next year then with the design being done this year. Then US 40 Connector Road, kind of depends on what comes out of this Heber Parkway study and what exactly we're going to do there. So I don't have a lot of information on that one right now.
So I'll show you where it was originally, where they got the grant to do that. But it was to kind of show, follow the Heber City plan from before, down kind of past the Burton Lumber property. But with the results of the new the Heber Valley Parkway study, we kind of need to discuss this one again.
Yeah.
See what we need to do with that.
So that's kind of some of the projects coming up that are going to be impacting you guys. Yep.
The state park access projects.
That's right, okay, thank you. So we have, let's see, right here, so we have, is this the one?
This is the
This
last.
one's done.
No, there's, well, yeah, there's
That one's
one
done,
more
but we
phase
have
of
this
that.
other
though.
one coming up in a few years to continue where this project left off, if I remember correctly. But, so. Okay. Any other
Did
questions?
you have their own project engineers? You talked about all these and that they go to at that phase, they go to their project. Does UDOT have their own project engineers that engineer all these projects? Or do they contract them out?
We contract a lot of our work out because we have a lot of work. We do have internal UDOT design teams, but currently we don't have a lot of depth in our experience, and so we're rebuilding that currently. And so yes, there are a lot of projects that go out, but there's no way that even if we had a lot of depth internally that we could handle all the projects that come through. No way.
All right, thank you so much. That was an
Yep.
excellent update. We'll move